Dear Joe, I'm feeling incredibly conflicted and guilty right now, and I'm not sure who to talk to about this. I've been in a committed relationship for a few years, and I love my partner, but recently I made a huge mistake. I cheated. One kiss, and I deeply regret it. But I can't stop thinking about how I've hurt my partner and betrayed their trust. I'm not sure what to do next. Part of me wants to confess and take responsibility for my actions, but I'm terrified of losing the person I love. Another part of me wonders if keeping it a secret is better, since it was a mistake, and I don't want to destroy everything. How do I deal with this guilt? And what's the best way to move forward from here?
Okay, so Greg, thank you first of all for being so honest and reaching out. I don't think your partner will gain anything from knowing that you kissed someone. I think the feeling that you have of maybe wanting to tell him would only be to alleviate your guilt and to release something in yourself. And my instinct is that the accountability that you have to take for doing what you did is to keep that knowledge to yourself. And that might feel really uncomfortable to you because it sounds like what you're saying is you're a normally like a very honest person and you feel like you've betrayed someone's trust. But I don't understand what your partner could possibly gain from knowing that information. And if it was a mistake, it was a one-off, it was a kiss, I don't think that that's any reason to destroy a good relationship if that's what you feel like you're in. I think lots of people make mistakes, and you know what? I'm not trying to make light of somebody uh, doing something that doesn't align with who they are. It's just that I just don't feel that this needs to be brought into a relationship if that relationship is good and solid. Maybe you could say to ask yourself why you think you did it. Have you thought about doing it before? Have you come close to doing it before? Is that something you need to think about? Is it something you need to, look at when you're out, what you're drinking and how your behavior changes when you drink? I don't know. These are just questions. I'm certainly not like judging it. But I think that's the only work that needs to be done. Maybe just asking yourself maybe why you were in that position in the first place. But I think protecting your partner from that, I think is really important if you want to go forward. And unfortunately, when we make mistakes, and believe me, I've made many, um, I think that's part of the accountability that you have to bear it. You have to carry that, and just getting it off your chest is only for you. It's only for the benefit of you, and not for your partner. There's a really famous relationship expert, Esther Perel. And I love her so much. But she talks a lot about affairs and in relationships, and how even with something like that, it wouldn't have to be the end of a relationship. Obviously, probably there you are going to talk about it and you are going to be in communication about it. But it's funny, we have this idea that being physical with another person and cheating in that way is just the worst kind of way you could possibly be with someone in a relationship. But I think, disdain, ignoring, not being present, talking behind, I think all of these things are worse and more hurtful to a relationship. I think the physical stuff, yeah, it's like I said, it's something to question if that's what you're doing. But I actually think in the grand scheme of things, that kind of stuff is probably less hurtful and painful, or less destructive than some of the other stuff that goes on. But certainly in our society, oof, a kiss or a touch or a snog, or God forbid something else, it seems like the worst, you know? I mean, Emma, I know this is a weird dilemma, but if I could say to you that, right, your partner is going to cheat on you, and he's either going to have a one-off one-night stand, have sex with someone though, or for a few months he's going to get very, very close to somebody and kind of emotionally offload to them, and they're going to share a lot of information with each other and sort of have deep communication. Which one you going to go for?
That is the hardest thing in the world. I've never thought of it like that. Neither is the answer, but I couldn't. What about you?
Well, as time's gone on, I think maybe when I was younger, I might have gone for the I'd rather he had a one night stand. I'm sorry, I'd rather he had the emotional affair. But now I think I'd rather the one night stand, because that's what I mean. I think I can see now as I've got older that physically things can happen, and although I would not like it, I would find it very, very difficult. Believe me, I am not saying I could easily get over this, but I think that feels less of a betrayal than somebody becoming very, very close emotionally to somebody and maybe revealing things about themselves and divulging things that they haven't even told me. And because that closeness is there's something very intimate about that. And it's probably something that I would find harder than just we fell into bed together. It happened and it'll never happen again.